And by the way, real quick, thank you for having us. We really love coming. I love coming here. This is Tom's first time.
It's my first.
And I always tell them the people here are tremendous. They're just filled with love and a love for Superman and comics and just great people. And I really appreciate all of you.
Michael said the first time is the best time. It'll probably be your last time. So enjoy it.
Exactly what I said.
Yep.
Thank you.
That's a true friendship right there, man. It's beautiful.
It's built on lies.
One last thing, and I'm going to shut up. Keep an eye on each other. We're packed in and it's really hot. Just be cool.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing is we want to get to as many questions as we can. So, rapid fire. We've only got 10 minutes.
Before we start questions, Tom and I, we've been waiting to broadcast this news, but Tom and I are starting a podcast together. It airs July 15th. It is called Talkville. We go through every episode of the entire series. We dissect it so you can listen to us every week. Spread the word. Talkville. Coming on iTunes, Spotify, Google, iTunes, everything. You can watch it.
He's the brains behind it. I just let it go.
It's a lot of fun. We really, because I didn't see a lot of the episodes,
No,
so it's all new to me.
This is the best part. We start watching these episodes, and Michael's like, what's going on? What's happening? And he's like, well, not only did you only read, this is my alarm to wake up, by the way. Before I get
Well, wake up!
Taking that. Michael's like, what's happening here? Why is Lana talking to you like that? Because Michael only read his own scenes and didn't watch. He didn't watch the show.
That's not entirely true. I just didn't see every episode like Tom did. I might have missed a couple of seasons.
I will tell you a quick story. This is not podcast related, but I remember when Justin Hartley was on the show, Oliver Queen. And I remember he told me he had a big party for the first time his characters were going to show up. I don't know if you know this. And he had 15, 20 people in his house. He's ready. And Oliver Queen's on there. He's looking great. And then he turns into the Green Arrow and he comes out and one of his first lines, I don't know what it was, but he was like, hello. And he said his whole family and everybody there looked at him and goes, why are you talking like that? He goes, they didn't tell me my voice would be like that. They did that after show.
Post-production.
It was post-production. And so he was like, I would have done that on set. I'm like, I'm glad you didn't do that on set. That would have been really awkward.
By the way, what a great body Justin has. Really.
Dare I say, still does.
Still does. Still works it out.
So do you.
Oh, well, thanks. Well, I had some Mexican for lunch, so... and I am feeling it. Let me tell you that.
I thought you've lost 5 pounds.
I lost a couple, I swear. We were signing autographs this morning. I won't get into it, but, there was a moment when I thought I'm in trouble. But I was okay. They say don't trust a fart over 50. I'll be 50 in a month, so...
I got a couple years. I don't think Green Arrow has a hometown. There's no official town.
Where's he from?
Where's that?
Where?
Oh, it's across the river?
Century City? Central.
Texas?
Central City, what?
I know he's from Star
I like that
City.
they know so much more than we'll ever know.
Well, when you watch the series on our podcast,
You're gonna like it because we keep track of deaths, saves, the whole thing. It's really good. What I really think of the podcast or the episode, we give it a rating system, the Rose and Bomb rating system. 3 roses, we loved it. 2 roses, pretty damn good. 1 rose, it's okay. Middle, right in the middle is a heater, right down the middle. It's you don't have to see it. 1 bomb, kind of crappy. 2 bombs, really crappy. 3 bombs, a piece of Rosenbaum.
I didn't realize I was doing a podcast with the harshest critic of the series.
I tell how it is. I liked a few episodes. I definitely liked some. Good. The pilot was fantastic.
That's
What?
Lex Smith.
Leximus was a great episode. We haven't gotten to that. We will though, and there's a hotline you can call, and you can leave messages and stuff. It's fun. Anyway, let's get to some questions. Should we do it? Supergirl, let's do it.
Alright, so we all know you're from Smallville, but do either of you have any smaller, lesser known projects that you'd love to give some love to?
Not that I can remember.
I have a podcast called Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum.
Actually, this fall I got a new TV series coming out on CW called Professionals with Brendan Fraser. So that doesn't answer your question. It's not necessarily lesser known, it's unknown. But till now. Yeah. Thank you for not using your phone, sir. Like that was gonna happen. Okay, Tom, this is for you. When you did the multiverse.
Talk louder in the microphone, sir.
When you did the multiverse.
I didn't say slower.
Multiverse crossover with Erica. Okay. You had lost your powers. Was that your idea, the writers, or somebody else's? That was the writers. And when I asked them why, they said they don't know. But it worked for the scene. And I was like, okay. The good thing, I'm really glad that in that scene, John Crowder's Lex Luthor didn't say, "What happened to your powers?" I'd have been like, I don't know. But my favorite part, my absolute favorite part about that scene, I try to play a little more like Jonathan Kent, sort of a John Wayne, kind of with the gloves off, and I do the whole thing. That was on purpose, and there's a tribute to Schneider. But my favorite part of that episode, that scene, was when he says he's Lex Luthor. And I was like, You're not Lex. That was my favorite part.
By the way, did you used to love John Glover or John Schneider? Every scene he'd come in and go. Here's another thing that I learned a lot from Schneider. He's the best. The best. He's a Duke boy, you know? And just a good old boy. Come on. And by the way, if you've ever seen him sing that song, he sings it better than the original. He's a great singer.
Great singer. And we did this scene, and recently we watched it. It's in the first season, and Clark, I don't know, was complaining about something, and John gets up from the table to go talk to Clark. And so, like, if the camera's there, John gets up from the table, and there's the edge. And John gets up and he goes, "Clark, let me tell you something." And here's the table. John's body went like this. But his head stayed right on the camera line. This guy knew his stuff. And that's the one where he takes the route. He goes, "What's in my hand?" Remember that scene? And Clark goes, "Your pocket knife." And he goes, "You can see it." And he goes, "No, you always carry your pocket knife in your pocket." Anyway, next question. We don't like to talk very much.
Hi. What's your name?
Morgana.
I thought you were Daenerys from Game of Thrones.
I'm Harley Quinn.
Oh, I'm wrong. Very wrong.
Did you want to take any props or anything from set?
Nope.
Yep.
I was really, I forgot. I wanted to text you yesterday, like, you should bring the Lex suit.
I've got Lex's white president suit. I took that. I took the Zod suit, trench coat. I've got like Lex's glasses that I used to drink at the bar with. I've got a big portrait with a crazy doll that was, in Lex's office. I've got so much crap. I was like, if I ever go broke, I'm selling this shit.
And we can never find my character's socks. They always disappear.
I got them. I don't have his socks.
Hey Tom, how you doing?
Hi.
Any funny moments from the set of Lucifer you can recall?
Oh, yeah. Tom Ellis kept trying to kiss me. We had I think my favorite episode of that series is when we pretended to be a couple in suburban America. And Tom would just add all these funny things that weren't written, like trying to hold my hand during a scene. And my character didn't like any of that, which was a lot of fun to play. And in the end, there's a kiss to prove that we're a couple because no one's believing us. And we did the kiss, it was great. Director's like, and there's a bunch of extra, it was like a lot of people. A lot of big reset to do another scene, or to do another take. And they go, cut, great. Director's like, great. Comes on the camera, great guys, all right, we'll move on. Tom goes, can I get one more? He did, and I was like, what? And he just smiled at me. No, that was fun. I loved being on that show. I loved it. Yeah. Where are you going?
That was the creepiest
Security?
move. Did you see that creepy move she just made? Let me show you what she did.
Maybe she went all golden and she was looking for the precious.
Do you do yoga? Because that was like, I couldn't do that.
Now we scared her away. Let's go to the very back row. They're picking on me.
We love you too. All right, hey y'all. It's gonna be awesome because you got the podcast coming. It's a question for both of you. If you're watching the series, let's say you want to.
Where the hell are you?
It sounds like you're right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're going through the episodes, if you were going to create a drinking game based on your most popular phrases that you think you say to each other, what would they be?
Okay, because there are two games, I said this to one person today, there's already two games that exist for Smallville apparently. One's a drinking game, one's a kissing game. Yep. And they're both based on the same thing. Every time a character says another character's name, you gotta take a shot, or you gotta kiss the person you're watching it with. So be careful who you're watching it with. Because in every scene, I mean, Clark and Lex say each other's names 5 times.
And who does that in real friendship? You're like, Michelle, you have to hear this story. Oh, Casey, tell it to me. Well, Michelle, yesterday I was over at the high school. Yeah, Casey, go on. And Michelle, like every second, relax. Clark, Lex. By the way, there's a game that people play, like every time Lex gets hit on the head or hurts his head, you drink. Because I was knocked out how many times? Also, where's my security? Anyway.
My question's for Michael Rosenbaum.
Where are you? Okay, thank you. What's your name?
Michael Kelly.
Michael Kelly and Michael Owen Rosenbaum.
Owen?
Owen's my middle name. Like Owen Wilson, Owen Wilson. It's like,
Or like Owen Rosenbaum.
Yes, so I answer the question. This is great.
Whose is your favorite voice to imitate, and could he possibly be on stage with you right now?
My favorite voice to imitate?
Well, I don't think Christopher Walken's here.
But I do a
Is
good...
Keanu Reeves here?
Yeah, I kind of like doing Christopher Walken's here. We used to do that on set all the time. We would do these scenes. We're in Metropolis, Illinois. Homer, Superman. There's no place like it. Everybody's got a Superman shirt on. Real unoriginal. And this guy just dropped. You got a dog? What's going on there?
What's the dog's name? Cow? Oh, look, Michael got a new dog. Oh, she peed.
It's all right. I've been pissed on before. That didn't sound right. Anyway,
Next question, how do we have this little kid that's floating in the air? Over here? Yeah. Speaking of being pissed on, Michael, as the true star of the show. No, it's alright. The relationship was based on mistrust. We all need a friend like Lex.
I agree. They were.
Alright.
Listen, I was there more, but he had more effect.
And Tom is like, no homo, quite possibly the most handsome I've ever stood in there.
No, what?
So, this is a set question, Michael. Yeah? So, in my head, I've got the set laid out. And that Smallville General Hospital was in certain places, you'd open certain doors and they go to certain the set. What was behind the two main doors in Lex's office?
Hallway.
Right? Yeah, so
Hey, his mic's not working.
So probably because I threw it on the floor. Oh, thank you. So if you were looking at Lex's desk.
That's gonna cost me.
It's alright, I remember my first panel. So if you're facing Lex's desk and you turned around and the pool table would be off to your right, you'd walk out those double doors and there would be a wall. And you'd turn left and it would go nowhere. And if you went to the right, it would go nowhere, but there would be a door to another stage, which was the Kent house. But yes, they didn't go anywhere.
Tom, for you. Oh, you're on, right here.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you? Hi.
Okay, it's all right.
It's good to be excited.
When your first time directing, like, what made you decide to direct? Did you like it like more in front of the camera or behind the camera? And like, what made you decide to like get behind the camera and start doing that?
That's a very good question. So now, that too? I think it was season 2 or 3. We were, because I was in almost every scene, so I was on set all the time, and I could hear the problem solving and trying to figure out. I was curious of how everything worked because I'd never really had a job before like that. And I remember at one point, we were trying to figure something out with an actor and a camera, and I made a suggestion, and JP, who we love, was our #1 camera operator. And I made a suggestion, and I remember him looking at me and being like, "You're right, like that's a really good solution." And then it was like, I don't know, a couple months later, he said to me, he was just thinking about directing, and I'm like, "I don't know how to direct." He's like, "It's your show." But what he meant by that was like, you're here all the time, you see what we're all doing. And then I had a conversation with my agent at the time, and he said, let's put you in a situation where they ask you to direct, instead of saying, this is my show, you know what I mean? So I think it was, I don't know, it was season 4, season 5, but I think there were some back channel conversations. But they had said, would you like to direct? And it was great. The young girl who was in the episode won a Canadian award for Best Actress that year in a television series, which was great. But what I learned was, because I'd never directed before, so I was directing myself at the same time. And I remember one of our producers in LA he kind of pulled me aside and he said, make sure you do more takes on yourself than everyone else. And I was like, good advice. And then I was like, I don't want to be that jerk. You know what I mean? So when we started filming, we would, and we had great DPs and other people. Anyway, long story short, I didn't realize that I was doing like 4 takes on other people, but like 1 or 2 on myself. Because I just was busy. And as a result, I think the episode suffered a little bit. And that same producer sat me down and watched the episode with me. And he could see where my character suffered because of my distraction. And so the other, 7 episodes I did, I would say to the other actors, listen, this is not an ego thing, but I'm going to do a lot more takes on me. Just so we have it. And so then I would do 1 take on everyone else. And like 15 on myself. No. But it was something I had to learn, and I thank God for that producer to sort of show me that, and I've only directed things I've starred in. So hopefully I'll change that, but yeah.
Yeah, Tom was great, by the way. And I think another thing is when you're on set all the time, most people just kind of go in, and they hit their marks, and they don't really know what's going around, and they say their lines, they just want to act. But when you're on set constantly, Tom and I started to go, oh, how does this work? And what lens are you on?
Or why are you asking me to do this?
Yeah, and learning, and all of a sudden you learn enough where you're like, hey, I've listened to what these guys and seen what they've done, and it made it easier. It was a great platform it was a safe environment to direct an episode, and like you had a big team around you, so you could really grow as a director. So.
I also think there's, when people ask what do you like better, the way this is working. I kind of looked at it as speaking different languages, like acting, directing, producing, and writing. If you can learn those different languages, you can communicate better with people throughout. So I don't have any faith. I mean, I can't write a thank you note, but the other three I enjoy doing a lot. Yeah.
Hi. It's so weird that you guys announced your podcast, but I literally had this question before you announced it.
Well, thank you. Next.
I was going to ask about if you could have a podcast, the artist, who would you
who would we want to interview on our podcast?
Yeah.
Huh?
Now that you're doing it.
Oh yeah, well. I don't know, like on the one we're doing, Talkville, which comes out in July, we try to talk to, like the wardrobe guy, and maybe Lana and Kristen Krug for like a little while. Like, so usually it's just the two of us, but sometimes we bring on guest stars, people that will come on.
Amy Adams wants to really be a part of it.
She was on an episode.
She's not busy.
Amy Adams was on an episode. Do you know that, sir? You did know that. He's like, yeah, I knew that. What the hell? White prison man.
No, that's one of the go. No, I see that look. That's. I don't know. My wife wanted me to do it.
I bet there's been a lot of people who, I hear people come to the table and they're like, we met watching Smallville together. This is what we did on our date night. This is, I wonder how many divorces happened because I know Smallville. I'm tired of it.
How many children were conceived while somebody was watching Smallville?
I hope no. You think conceived? What scene would they conceive?
Lexmas, there's a lot of good stuff in there.
I don't know. Next question. Yes.
Tom, you're great. Thank you. But this is freaking Mike and Rosenbaum. But my question is, how was it working with Christopher Reeve when he was on the show?
How was it working with Christopher Reeve?
Surreal.
Good question.
It really was. Me and Greg Beeman, who's a big part of the show, flew up to New York, met with Chris. One of the. I'll just talk louder. He was only supposed to be available to work, I want to say 3-4 hours. Obviously, due to his condition and his, with his nurse and his doctors with him, I think he stayed there for 8.5 hours. He would not let them take him away. The idea would be to shoot all his scenes, and then if he had to leave, I would speak to someone else, and that's okay. But he hung right in there. And if you watch that episode, the gravitas, which is like I know it's a weird word, but what he brings to that character in depth, considering he can't move. Was just it was like ethereal. It was really moving.
You're lucky.
He actually said one of the things he said to me right when we were finishing. He said come here, and I kind of bent down to. He wanted to whisper something to me. He goes, I'm really happy that they chose you to be the next Superman. And I said. They didn't. And he goes, they should have. And so that's always going to be in my heart. Did you ever get a chance to come here? Was that a thing? No?
Michael Kidder, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, that baby. Yeah, okay.
I have something to say.
Well, then you should say it.
Even though that Superman helps us with everyone that they know that they love them, then somebody will know that Superman hates kryptonites. Krypton are responsible for something is his greatest weakness. If you have any kryptonites, Superman will be allergic to it, even though he'll die, because the kryptonites kills that Superman. He killed Superman.
I tell you what, you know what, young lady, what's your name?
Bethany Yates.
Do you realize that you are already smarter than Lex Luthor ever was?
Certainly more articulate. But I still don't understand your question. Sorry.
Do you think that Lex Luthor is the only one that's been responsible for his dad that died because he'd grown up in his own town called Smallville, which is that Superman was placed in a ship for?
Placing a what?
Was Lex responsible for his
A
father?
ship that Superman was crushed out by his own parents and died because they were destroyed by a big thing that to their own planet.
Would you like to be on our podcast?
You'd be a great guest on the podcast. You'd be fantastic.
I wonder what, I don't remember, we haven't gotten there yet, but you know, allegedly Lex pushed his father off the building.
Yes.
Did Lex ever admit to it, or was he just left it on the ether?
No, I think he would just, I think
he slipped.
But let's be honest, Lionel Luthor deserved it, did he not? I'm not saying you should kill your father, but I'm saying that Lex Luthor did, and he went down that road. He tried to be good for so long, and then, when everybody's lying to you and deceiving you, and sometimes you just gotta, do some.
Is it true they cut the line as Lionel was falling that Lex yelled, "I'm doing you a favor! I mean, me a favor!"
No.
Okay.
I think Lionel, though, as he was falling, said, "Somebody's."
Hey guys, several years ago, John Glover was here and he told a story about Michael, which Michael reappeared here and that question was asked, but I'm going to ask with Tom here to find out the truth. John said that Michael liked to swim nude in a hotel swimming pool. Did that happen?
I'll say this, Your Honor. I never saw it.
Never wanted to.
But it was a cold pool.
I never did swim naked in the hotel pool. That would be illegal. But I wanted to. I swim naked at my house. Because it's my house. I think you'd get in trouble. There are laws. You asked the question, right? I'm looking at the wrong guys. I don't care what you do in your personal time, son. That wasn't even my question.
He's like, the Ohio River feels great naked.
Yeah, go take a dump in the Ohio River. I've done that before, though, when I was in high school. Not take a dump in the Ohio River. Oh, man. Oh, this is fun. I could do this all day. You guys having fun? I love it. Where's Christy? Christy, where are you? Oh, good. There's Christy. Hi, Christy. Good to see you.
Is your family here? Yeah.
Mama Shepherd. Mama Shepherd. Christy, where are you? They're not here yet. They would have said something. My neighbor's grown up. They're driving 5 hours out here to see me. Yeah, so I got them free tickets to Smallville Nights tonight.
Who drove further than 5 hours?
6.5. 6.5. 12 hours.
You must be young.
Do I hear more than 12? Do I hear 13? Why does your microphone farting?
The microphone.
Yesterday we heard this
14
family from
hours. Well,
Hawaii.
thank you for coming out here. I appreciate you. Thank you. Vegas? Why did you leave? Oh, you came to see me, yes.
You could have watched it on this guy's camera. He's live streaming the whole thing. Oh yeah, honestly guys, Smallville Nights tonight, which is hilarious and fun. I don't recommend young children unless you don't care about bad language. But there will be no phones or videos because that way we can get really stupid.
Well, it's just more fun to be intimate Because this whole world, let's face it, everything you do, it's on camera, right? But tonight, these Smallville nights we have it where there's no cameras, it's just us acting goofy with you guys or whoever comes out. So that's why we don't have cameras, so we can just be ourselves.
Hello, my name is Sarah.
Kill this one. Kill this one.
Over here to your right. Other right, Michael.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I apologize that I'm recording it. My friend, he's on a ventilator and he's a quadriplegic, just like Christopher Reeve. And his battery broke. They're actually working to try to get one because we're coming to Smallville nights tonight. But he has a question for you, and I'm recording it so we can hear it later.
All right.
He is one of your greatest fans. I would not even know anything about this if I hadn't spent the last 8 years learning all about it from him. And I think we've watched the series 3 times now. His question is there any news about the animated series that you were going to be having?
We're waiting for Alan Miles to create Smallville because we pitched it to them and they love the idea, but they're doing another series called the Wednesday Addams series. You know, the new Addams family.
Who's that director that owns
Tim Burton. So when they're done with that, they'll have time to work with us on getting a pitch ready.
But we've worked on Mike. Only works when I test it. I will say that Michael found us a really great animator. We have some mock-ups. We have a poster, and Lionel Luther is looming over everyone. It's
really cool. It's cool. So hopefully we'll get it made. But we're trying. We're really working. It takes from the start of something, the inception, the idea, to getting something made can take years and years. Remember that movie Dodgeball? It took them 12 years to make that movie. 12. So sometimes it takes years to get things off the ground and you just got to keep pushing forward. Yeah, you hear that over there? It's like making fart noises. This one's working fine. Wahoo! Werewolves in London. That song?
Yeah, what's that Chinese restaurant he goes to? I heard that the other day. Is that like a real Chinese restaurant?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, is that a real place?
It is a real place. How about that? I think that Pepto-Bismol helped me, to be honest with you.
You're supposed to swallow it and not put it up there.
It's not a suppository?
No, we don't, no.
Oh, sorry, we got a question here.
Okay, so I have a question, but first my daughter has been waving at y'all, and she's upset because y'all haven't moved back. Beautiful women on the obviously. So which one of y'all dated more on the show?
In character or in real life?
Like characters, dated outside of the show. Like
No, nobody dated outside the show. I think I went out with a guest star once.
You didn't date them.
This guy over here is like, come on, buddy. Tell me the story. Come on, what's going on here? I want to hear the dirt. There's no dirt, really. I mean,
I think one of it's what you said. I think one of the reasons why the show did last so long is because there really wasn't that going on in the show. Nobody really dated anybody in the show, so there was no one. You know, you hear all these shows, oh, they dated, they broke up, now they can't have scenes together. Like, grow up, you guys. This is a job.
But let's be honest. I mean, if Kristen asked me on a date, I would have been like, yeah, hello. But, you know, she didn't like the bald guy. What did he say?
So it's not really a question. I just wanted to tell you guys that I've been watching since I was 10, and that show was kind of like my escape from reality. My dad was going to prison at the time, and I was 10.
Going to prison?
And it's been so long he's out.
Sorry. Is he out of prison now?
He is, but he's bad. Yeah. So it was an escape from reality. Had to go to like court and stuff like that as a kid. So watching Smallville was my escape, and having that like hope and stuff like that, I ended up getting this tattoo, and so every time.
Is that Kryptonian?
It is.
I can't read it.
It's actually spelled out at the top, and it says hope. Then it's the Superman symbol, House of L, and then that's just the hope symbol.
Is there a whole alphabet?
Yes.
Because someone brought me something today and had Kryptonian. He's like, check it out. And he's like, what'd you do in the show?
Bad Superman.
Every time someone hit Clark with Kryptonian, Clark didn't know what it was, so I could just be like, curious.
But hey, I want to commend you on having strength and facing so much adversity and dealing with so much crap. And I love it, so bravo to you.
I also wanted to thank you for your podcast because you interview people and the podcast isn't like a normal podcast. You ask really great questions and sometimes I'm having a crappy day and sometimes the humor brightens my day and then also hearing like your stories and stuff like that about mental health is really awesome. So
I listen to it. I'm a Patreon member.
Yeah. Well, you know, I listen to all your guys' episodes, so I'm really stoked about Talk Girl.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm excited too.
What do you guys think about that name, Talkville? It's about the best we can come up with.
I like it, Talkville. Everything you want to know about Smallville.
We kind of thought about Small Talk. It was taken.
Small Talk was taken, and Talkville we can't get sued. So
I wanted to call it Star City. Oh,
Elon Musk has that.
Hey, first of all, I just love you two. Y'all's chemistry together is amazing. In Smallville, I also just every episode I watch. And Tom, I'm so Michael, I've met you. You're a great guy. My son.
I love it. I love it when they feel like they have to give you a compliment. When
I do.
Yeah, I'm like a stepchild. It's like, Tom, we just really love you, and like, oh, and you're really good. But you know, you really made that show, and I love that you shaved your head for it. That's really good. I'm kidding.
That's what my son said. He asked you that question. He was younger when he did that on that, but I really appreciate you. Tom, I do have to ask you a question. Okay, you did Hellcats. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, and that show was in Memphis, Tennessee. What was the connection? Why Memphis, Tennessee?
Cheerleaders. That was a really fun thing. I just started a production company with Warner Brothers, and we had come across this book that the series is based on, and it was just this really cool, fun insight into the world of cheerleading. And at the time, Don Ostroff, who was the head of Warner Brothers, literally was like, I want to make that, like right away. And so we got in production and shot in Vancouver while we were shooting Lessons in Smallville. So I would like finish shooting Smallville and then call the producers and be like, where are you guys shooting today? And I'd go over and like hang out on that set for a while. And I think if that show had one more season, it would have taken off. Don Ostroff left, the new guy he came in, his focus was more on reality television, and this was just a show that was just not performing yet. Just like, I mean, it wasn't the same, but Seinfeld had the same thing. The first episode, or the first season of the first season of Seinfeld was a little lackluster, really, but they gave it one more season, and then it took off. And I think that Hellcats would have been able to do that because it was such a fun, exciting, and then now you have a couple of shows that are on TV that I think kind of are like Hellcats, and so thank you for watching. Thank you. And now it's been so long we can get all those cheerleaders to come back and be the coaches.
I did a lot of shows where I'm like, gosh, I would have liked one more season. One season is just not enough.
Is that the Mikey Donkey Jane?
I did that one for a season. In Pastor, I did like 2 seasons. Oh, I just saw it, man. It was a good show.
Is only Jack, Duncan, Jane?
Didn't last. Only Duncan, Jack, and Jane was a show, yeah. But what are you gonna do?
All right, guys. Sorry, this is the last question.
Oh. Oh my God, Tom. She's like, another question. You want to rehearse with us right now for the podcast? We're not doing it right now, but yeah. I don't know. It's crazy.
Can we get her the call-in number for the podcast? Because I think she's going to help us out with that.
Hold that thought.
It's crazy.
Last question.
Okay, this is for the both of you.
Hold on. I know. I get it. I'm with you. Why is it?
Security.
I know the answer. I agree with you. I don't know. It's weird.
Are you here by
We'll
yourself?
get back to it, but I agree with
Talk really fast.
you. Go ahead.
If you were to have one final battle between Lex Luthor and Superman, how would it go?
It'd be a long hug.
You know what? Start with a hug. Make it feel like, hey, you know, we
Michael
could.
would probably try to touch my face.
What was the line? It could have been the stuff of legend. Our friendship could have been the stuff of legend. It's sort of like that. It's like, God, we started out doing so well. You know, you saved me, and I offered you this truck.
And Clark would have said,
I helped you with Lana, and all these things, and you just shit on me! Just like my father! You're all the same!
yeah. You know, that'd be funny if you pushed Clark off a building.
But then you just fly.
Maybe he needed it.
Maybe that's what he needed, me to push him off to learn he could fly. He's like, oh,
look at this!
This is great! Thanks, Lex! I knew it.
Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That was the Q&A today. Please thank Michael Rosenbaum, Tom Welling, on your feet, hands together.